slowly the world banking system and financial system is tying itself in a Gordian knot that really has only one solution, is that it's cut through by a new gold standard, by China. But China is not taking any action yet, and IMF is moving into the next phase of their foolishness, which is that they go emit bonds. What they do is they sell bonds to the BRIC countries, they hope. So it's Brazil, India, China and Russia, which is funny because Russia is already hoping to get some money from the IMF themselves. But with the money that they raise that way, they will stimulate the economies of the Western countries and try to get the world economy back on track. As if we would like the world economy to go back on track. It's not the whole assumption in this crisis is all the time that we want back to the old system, while we know for 100% for sure that the old system led to the current crisis, otherwise we wouldn't be in the current crisis. But just like an older brother or somebody that you can hand the responsibility, the IMF is taking it. And but there's a sea change in what's happening here, because if they bail out the Western countries, then the BRIC countries plus Russia would own the debt, or would own the credit, basically would have given credit to the Western countries, and the Western countries would be indebted to those countries. Now, what I wonder about is what type of role does the IMF really have in all this story? Because why wouldn't the countries lend to each other directly? Why would you like to do that, or want to do that, through some international body, which then keeps dictating to everybody what money they will have, how much interest they will have to charge, what they will have to pay, all that stuff. Why would you even want to do that? I'm not sure if there's any logic to it. Otherwise than that the IMF already has a lot of strings and a lot of fingers in the pop, finger in the pop, as we say in Holland, the finger in the stew, around the world. A lot of people already depend on the IMF, a lot of countries, and the IMF is making them more dependent every day. And as a result of this bond emission, all the countries in the world would become dependent on the IMF, because all the countries in the world would have lent money from the IMF. And another question would be, what kind of interest rate would the IMF charge? And on what grounds? Because they do not own the countries that have lent the money through them. They do not own the resources of those countries. They own nothing. They're just an administrative office with responsibilities given by a semi-democratic, one might assume, but mostly US-led governance. It's all a big mystery to me, and I hope it breaks down as soon as possible, because I don't see any benefit in having a new debt structure and a new power around the world, which is the IMF, which not only has like the poorer countries in its pocket, and if you have read these memoirs of a financial hitman, then you know that those poorer countries were always put into debt and then basically exploited. But now this is going to happen to the richest countries. Why on earth would anybody want that structure to exist at all? And you might say, you need it for international trade, but you don't need it for international trade at all. If you want to trade between companies and you want to have a trusted third party, you can go to any Dane or Swiss or Dutch guy, or I don't know, a German, anybody that you trust, that you mutually trust, and you can build a big safe. You put all the gold in there that you mutually own. You make 3 keys, and you all the 3 own 1 key. So it only opens when the 3 are there. I'm just talking nonsense now, but no, not a matter. You don't need the IMF to do all these things. The only reason why you need the IMF is to fool other people into thinking that you're wealthy and then get their stuff for free. That's what the IMF is for. And in my mind, that's pretty criminal. So why not ban this whole organization and boycott it? And if you're a BRIC country or you're Russia, you're out of your mind if you're going to lend or buy from the IMF.